And also, we can now see the Honorable Florence Bore also going through the copies, and also Madam Susan Nahumicha Wafula also to represent the national government. Already the county government, they have already signed. 3 representatives, Madam Chair, Honorable Anne Waiguru, Governor, and also the Chair Health, Honorable Mudhombi Njoke, and also Mwalimu Kahiga Mutahi, who is the Governor for Nyeri, but also the Chair for Labor. The Council of Governors, we have seen the signing that is just about to finish of the national government. The Chair and SG of KMPDU have already signed. Now it is the time of the national government, nizamu ya serikali kutia sahihi mkataba wa kurudi kazi kwa madaktari wetu na wauguzi wote ambao wamekuwa katika mgomo wa makumi ya masiku, lakini sasa tunaona utaifa umekithiri. Haya maridhiano yameongozwa na mkuu wa utumishi wa umma ambaye sio mwingine bali ni Mheshimiwa Felix Koskei. Siku lakini mwishowe tunafurahi kama serikali kusema kwamba tumepata afueni. Document, you can pass it on to the next so that we can be done with this process. Already I can see Madam Florence Bore has already appended her signature, and Madam Susan Nahumicha is doing her final copy. But the SG is looking at the document very meticulously to ensure that all legal requirements are adhered to, because custodian of this whole process, and he's now doing his final copy, the Solicitor General of the Republic of Kenya, and I can see our senior counsel, Jasper Mbiuki, with the documents, so that then we can go to the next level. This is a very wonderful process. It's a very great process. It has been very protracted. It's not been easy, but as the Swahili goes, yeah, na mbio za sakafuni huishia ukingoni. So we are here to witness this momentous signing ceremony. I can now see, again, the SG is once again going through the document to ensure that all is well, so that the interests of the national government with regard to its fiscal policy and commitment to investment are attained. Already, the Chair and SG of KMPDU have done the needful, and it is just a matter of time before we complete this whole process. So this is really commendable. Today, Kenyans are going to sleep very happy people. Now we can see the head of public service, Felix Koskei, going through some documentation, and he'll be addressing us shortly after this signing is complete. Then we deposit these agreements in the courts at the earliest possible. Now we can call Dr. Davji to sign the national government document. Kindly let's have the documents for Dr. Davji to sign for the national government. The national government documents, please. See Council Jasper Mbiuki moving next to the KMPDU side. the feisty Secretary General of KMPDU is now going through the documents to sign the documents that represent the agreement with the national government. We want to thank our council tirelessly from both sides, from the government side, from the AG's office, in this whole process of negotiation, and even doctors and advisors, Dr. Durane, for the good job that you've been able to do. Also, we want to thank senior counsel that have also been involved in this regard, such as Fred Ngatia and others, to make sure that the government is able to function normally. I can see the CEO of Kenyatta National Hospital, my own personal dermatologist, Dr. Kamuri, also making some consultations there. And we also want to thank all the CEOs of our 3 national. Now the SG is also signing some of the documents that had to be produced by the head of public service. Also, Madam Susan Nakumicha has just finished signing on her part. The particular summary of what is going to be deposited in the courts. It is actually a very great mood. Celebrations are in the air as we come to the end of this arduous engagement. And this is what civilized societies do, even if they differ, but eventually they come to an agreement. The place of the doctors in our societies, in the theaters, in the hospitals, and on the streets, and the government is committed to ensuring that they deliver to Kenyans on an equal basis with others, so that we can attain our manifesto and our medium-term plan goal of universal health care for all, from level 1, 2, and 3, through the implementation of the Social Health Act, that we are transitioning from the National Health Insurance Fund Act. Okay, we are now finalizing on the signing. We are on the last documents so that we can finish. Nyinyi kwaya mwimbi twist, hiyo sio twist, hiyo mnaimba ni Mugithi. Tunangojea kuona miguu ikisunguka, sio vile mnaimba hapo wengi. Eh? Sasa nimewapitishia, naona mnajua kudance kabisa hapo. Although huyo wa mwisho anafaa kujaribu kidogo. After all the signing is done, we are going to witness the exchange of the documents between KMPDU and the Council of Governors, and then with the Minister, and then the Head of Public Service will address us.
Then after that, you will call her. After that, I'll talk, then I'll invite them first of all to follow the track.
Asante sana wa kutukumbusha David Kabaka na ile gita yake. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are finalizing on the last documents before we have the exchange of documents. The first to exchange the documents will be the Chair of the Council of Governors together with the Chair of KMPDU, the SG, I am guided, and then we have the Minister. Again, they do exchange the documents, and then the Head of Public Service will take over from there. Kwa weka wimbo ingine ndio tumalizie. Weka wimbo ingine. Okay, choir, okay. Thank you very much. Now we can see the Chair of the Council of Governors. We want to call upon Oh, okay. I'm told that the Sorry, Madam Governor. I also want to recognize the presence of P.S. Harry Kimtai, standing right behind, and also P.S. Mary Muthoni, standing right behind the Head of Public Service, and also our council. He's done a very good job. Yuki and Barno. I think we are now on the of the same, but the chair and the SG are from the Kenya.
Agreed.
Kia masuala yote ya afya sahihi. Nafikiri sasa tumeweza kumalizia hapo ili tuweze kuingia awamu nyingine ya kuweza kukabidhiana stakabadhi kati muungano wa watabibu ama wauguzi na serikali ya kitaifa. Muungano wa wauguzi unaongozwa Mwachi, mkuu Daktari Davji, ambao wamepigania sana ya wenzao, serikali kitu wao na gavana wa Kirinyaga na pia gavana wa Tharaka Nithi ambaye afya ambaye ni mkwasi wa lugha ambaye tunamheshimu, mwanachama wa kamati ya leba na pia ambaye ni gavana. Lakini katika ngazi ya kitaifa pia tuna mawaziri watatu, wafanyikazi wa umma, Mheshimiwa Moses Kuria, waziri ambaye anahusika na masuala ya leba, Mheshimiwa Florence, mhusika mkuu wa swala hili zima, waziri wa afya Mama Susan Nakhumicha. Sasa tuweze kuingia katika na tunashukuru sana washauri wa rais Daktari Dhuranira na Daktari Mwai kwa vile ambavyo wamekuwa na huo mtagusano kati ya pande zote husika ili tukaweza kuafikia umoja huu. Sasa nafikiri tumeweza kumaliza nao. Wanakwaya tungependa kumuita, now we can call upon the chair of the Council of Governors, Madam Anne Waiguru. You can step forward, and also the Secretary General of KMPDU, so that you can come forward and exchange symbolically the documents from the two sides. So please, you are welcome. Tuwapigie makofi wanapokuja. Makofi, makofi, makofi. This is a very momentous occasion so that they can represent. These are the faces of the negotiations, and we are very proud that we've come to the end of this process. So, I don't know whether they will hug each other or they just shake hands. Let's clap for them. Makofi, 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 makofi. Now you may exchange the documents, kindly. Yeah. So yes. Ningependa mukae wangwana kabisa vile ambavyo. Naomba msonge karibu hapa katikati. Uko sawa? Haya. Hapo ni sawa. Wewe unaniambia maneno mengine? Yeah. Haya, basi tuangalie picha. Thank you very much, our governors. Thank you very much, our doctors. Let's clap for them. Please hold on the documents. Hold on the documents so that we can have a... maybe we can have one document to be given to the chair, just for symbolism. Chair, please, you can hold. Yeah, please hold the document. Yeah, that's a good photo. Let's clap for them once again. And we can see very young doctors. This must be the doctor interns, if I'm not wrong. You really fought for them. So thank you very much. Now let's have one more photo. Sorry, just remain there. Kindly remain there for a moment. The ones who are holding the documents, just hold the documents. You can step aside. Kindly step aside. Everyone who is, give the document to the chair, kindly. We need yes. Sorry, wait a bit. Is the vice? Yeah. Can we have another document then? Is there another document? Okay. Yeah. Kuna, if there is no more, it's okay. It's okay, Chair. It's okay. Let's take this photo. Yeah, this is very good. Makofi tena, please hold it very well. This is a historic photo. Thank you very much. You may now take your... Okay. Do you want me to tell you solidarity forever? Yes. Solidarity! Solidarity! Lakini wewe ni Dr. Rauji ungesema hiyo. Mimi nilikuwa nasema nilikuwa kiongozi wa wanafunzi huko. Now let's now have the next exchange of documents. Let's have the next exchange of documents between the doctors and the national government. And we will have the CES, Cabinet Secretary for Health, the Cabinet Secretary for Labor, and the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, and also the SG. Kindly join us because you are the custodian. Sorry? We need to repeat that. Okay, I'm told that we need to repeat. I'm guided because of the emblems. Okay, thank you. Hiyo lazima ingie hapo. The emblems must be right. Makofi tena. Thank you. Good. Let's have now the national government. The national government represented by the three cabinet secretaries and the Solicitor General, and also the two PSs in the Ministry of Health, Harry Kimtai and Mary Mudhoni. And also, please, may you come and line up so that we are properly. I don't know whether Kempi, do you want to add on to your people, or you're okay, the two of you? Because the national government looks out, it has outnumbered you. Maybe some of the other officials can join so that it doesn't look. And then in the middle, let us have the head of public service. The head of public service, sir, kindly, let me request you to come because you are the custodian of all. So kindly, let's move a little bit. The scribes, you can move a little bit to move kidogo. Let the public service be at the middle. And wait a little bit. Hiyo picha, Madam Susan, kuja upande tafadhali. Na kuomba ndio wakaribiane. Hapo. Bash. Hiyo ndio picha ya gazeti inataka. Hama namna gani? Haya. Let's clap for them. Makofi, makofi, makofi. Thank you very much. Now we can have the exchange of the documents, kindly. Let's have the exchange of the documents, symbolically. Please, the key stakeholders, you may hold. And this is a very important document, that's why it's in red. And Wakili Collins Kiprono is handing over Yeah, please hold them so that we see the emblem formally. Yes. Yeah. Yes, and let's be on the same line. Like, let's be on the same line. Yeah. Yes, be on the same line kindly for uniformity. Yes, kindly. Yeah, so that. Chair, you may want to also do the same. Open it up. Yeah, yeah. Haya, wamefungua vitabu vya nyaraka. Makofi kwao. SG, inua yako kidogo, yako inakaa kama iko kidogo, tusiambiwe hii kuwa sahihi. Makofi tena. Please let's clap for the hamtaki kupiga makofi. Thank you very much. Let's shake hands kindly, just for symbolically. Musalimiane angalau. Hapo. Oh, unataka kunisalimia? Mimi niliwapeleka mbio sana kama msemaji wa serikali. Kwanza hiyo makofi. Sasa hakuna sponsorship of hashtags kwa Twitter, hiyo imekwisha sasa. Tulikimbizana huko, tunajua hivyo. Salimia Moses Kuria, pia ni mwingine mnafaa kuridhiana hapo. Daktari Davji, salimia Mheshimiwa Moses Kuria. Tulikuwa upande moja tukicharazana kabisa. Na pia waziri wa leba Florence Bore, ambaye ni mama ambaye alikaza nguvu kabisa. Asante Mheshimiwa. This is very, very symbolic. Everybody is happy, and also the SG, yeah, hapo kabisa makofi. Na pia Madam Mary Mudhoni, ambaye alikuwa ni kama mediator kidogo, alikuwa na middle ground kidogo, alikuwa analia tusisukume sana. Pia PS Hari Kimtai, yeye hana maneno mengi. PS Hari Kimtai, tu salimia Dr. Davji, salimia. Lakini haya, hata mimi nisalimie hapo. Tulisumbuana sana. Na tunaweza kuketi. Now we can take our seats. Yeah. Oh, CS Public Service, sorry. Thank you very much. PS Public Service, sorry. I beg your pardon. Let's take our seats now. Thank you, choir. Thank you. Asante sana. Asante, choir. Asante sana. Now, thank you. Now, let's be silent. Please, let's clear the front here. If you can clear the front, madam. If you can clear the front. Now, at this juncture, silence. Let's be silent. I can see some people at the back are a little bit active. Let's just be calm. Chair, you may want to take your seat, but I'm very sure that bag is not yours. Yeah. Chair, we are waiting for you to be seated. Thank you. Now, at this juncture, I want to I have the pleasure to invite the chief negotiator of this whole process. It's been arduous, many days on end. This has been where we have been camping, but finally, we have a solution. Let's clap as we welcome the head of public service, the Honorable Felix Koskei. Karibu.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of whole of Nation Approach Committee, I want to register my appreciation today, this evening, for the ceremony that has taken place. It has been a very, very tedious and windy, very rough, but finally, we have made it. I want to thank the union. I want to thank the ministry. I want to thank the county government led by Her Excellency Governor Anne Waiguru and her team. And also to, again, thank the CS Health and also our team for really being patient, working very hard during negotiations, and ensuring that whatever was at contestation was finally agreed. And I want to thank also KBDU for climbing down. And now we have a document that has been signed formally a document that will be deposited in court so that we as Kenyans will start again enjoying health services as provided by the doctors. I want to, as I'm ending my opening remarks, I want to request the union perhaps to start by calling off the strike officially, because I know Kenyans are waiting with a bated breath. Karibu, can be you. And we are making very, very short speeches because we want to rush to court. Karibuni.
We move them there. Saidia kumove hizo tafadhali. Help me to move the mics.
The end of their strike. Where did you sign that thing? Where did you sign that thing?
Okay, now let's hear from the SG, who is the spokesperson of the doctors.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think today marks 7 years and 56 days since the government has been on strike. But we are happy that they called off their strike here 5 days ago. And this led us to have a well-structured negotiation that was having a process of give and take. So yesterday, we had a negotiation with the Council of Governors, and then we proceeded to have a whole night negotiation with the Ministry of Health. So I want to thank the head of public service for having complied to the court orders, because court orders are not given in vain. And that led to the meetings that we had. I also want to thank the Council of Governors, headed by the chair on Anwar Guru, and the chair health committee, Governor Mudomi, and the chair labor committee, Kahiga, who have met us on several occasions. Sometimes they throw tantrums, but they still believe that we have to sit down and resolve the issues. I also want to thank the Ministry of Health, the CS, the PSs, who despite the heated moments have not given up on having discussions on these issues. I also want to thank the able leadership of KMPDU, who believe on one thing, that justice must be done and must be done now. And so from the document that we had a very long meeting today with our National Advisory Council, that is the highest decision-making organ. And they endorsed that we signed this particular return-to-work formula today, so that it can pave way for the doctors to resume work within 24 hours from now. And that means a strike that began on 13th of March 2024 has been called off. The government has insisted to us that they are different government, and there are different persons in office, that we need to believe in them, that they're not conmen. And therefore, we have decided that despite having said and stated that we do not go home with promissory notes, we have decided to take the promise for the last time. But as we take this, I must say that one of the fundamental issues, that is the matter of doctor interns, is still pending. This matter was filed in court in Eldoret. This matter has been part of the conversations. And we could not come to a particular agreement because the union was for the opinion that the doctor intern must be posted immediately as per the CBA, while the government was for the opinion that we have to await for the court litigation that is ongoing in Eldoret before we come to an agreement. But there we have a joint caveat that is going on. All the doctor interns that is the medical officer interns, the pharmacist interns, and the dentist interns will have to wait a little bit longer. We have agreed on a 60 days period that they will not be posted, but you'll be having conversations on this issue. It then means that as this matter in court is ongoing, we'll also be having conversation. But one thing we must assure everybody, every doctor and every person, that the rights of workers are enshrined in a collective bargaining agreement that is signed, that is sacrosanct. We will always endeavor to protect that. Thank you.
Kofi Makofi. Thank you very much. That is a very excellent speech. Now we turn to the Chair of the Council of Governors. Please, you can help me move the mics. Thank you very much, Dr. for that magnanimity. The Chair of the Council of Governors, Madam Anne Waiguru, the Governor for Kirinyaga.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the Council of Governors, I would like to say how pleased we are and relieved that finally we have come to the end of this strike. It's been a long journey, many nights, many days of negotiation. And if we were in a boardroom, I would have said point of order, because I don't think the governors were throwing any tantrums. But in the process of negotiation, there is give and take, and there's that which can be done and that which can't be done. Most of the issues that had been raised for the Council of Governors had been agreed upon a lot earlier. And in the process of harmonization and the issues that kept emerging, it took a little longer. But we are saying today is a great day because we have come to the end of this issue, and we would like to thank the union also for coming this far and working seamlessly with county governments and agreeing on all the issues that were raised and the responses and the timelines that we've given, and therefore also calling the strike off. So on behalf of my colleagues, we want to say thank you, and thank you also to the head of public service, who for the whole journey has been steering the moderation between the two parties and also for the national government. So we thank you. We would also like to note that we will be continuing with the process of dialogue and negotiation with the other outstanding institutions that we haven't yet settled, because the commitment of the Council of Governors is to ensure that we're providing seamless service delivery to the people that elected us. Thank you once again, and thank you for making the time to be here.
Makofi. Now let me call upon the Cabinet Secretary for Health to make her remarks. I can see some governors would want to make some remarks. I stand guided. So the Chair Health. Okay, let's hear from the Chair Health in the Council of Governors.
Thank you very much, the government spokesperson. I want to support the remarks that have been made by our chair. On behalf of the Council of Governors, we are grateful also to all the parties involved, HOPES and CS Health, the KMPDU, and everyone else who was involved in these negotiations. We have burnt midnight oil, and we have worked overtime. Some of us have not been to our counties for a very long time, and I hope our constituents know where we've been. It's for the greater good for the country. And now we are happy that we can now be able to go back to our counties and be able to see the implementation also being discussed today. It is easy to put a signature on the paper. It is easy for KMPDU to just pick the mic and say we have called off a strike, but the real work begins now. The implementation of what we have agreed upon is the beginning of the journey to make sure that we never have any more of this and call for disagreements that lead to strike. For a beginning, we have a dire need for the health for people of Kenya because of the floods. Cholera has just struck in some parts of the country, and therefore what the KMPDU SG has said that the doctors can go back within 24 hours. The 24 hours should begin now, SG. Call out for duty. Health cannot wait. We would even wish they can go back in the next few minutes because we really want our health to be back on track. On our behalf, we will continue engaging, as our chair said, with the remaining unions, that is Kenya National Union of Clinic Officers. We had agreed to meet them on Tuesday. We'll meet them, but we are hoping that because they've seen the goodwill that we have, and we mean good for them, they also can go back to work, and we'll continue negotiating as they work because we are available for them. Thank you.
Sure. Do you want to say something? In the spirit of equity within the two levels of government. Karibu Mwalimu.
Thank you very much. I also would want to associate myself with the sentiments of my colleague, the Chair Health, and also our Chair COG. And I want to say that being a new chair in the Council of Governor and the Labour, my commitment is to ensure that together with my colleagues, we will deal with all outstanding labor issues. And what we have exhibited through this strike is our willingness to engage, even when it is so difficult to do that. And I want to really appreciate that KMPDU has finally agreed to call off the strike. My message to all unions is that you can never solve the issues of workers in a single strike, because if you did, then we would need to disband all unions. And therefore, it should be a give and a take, and you take home the gains that you gain and then live to fight another day. In other words, we are saying, do not win a battle and lose the war. It is important that we work together. Even for other unions, our commitment is to ensure that we will address all issues, we will address all unions, and we will work according to the law. Those that need to seek recognition, they know the processes and all others, and we are ready to do that. Finally, may I call upon all the doctors to redouble their efforts now that we have called off the strike, as the Secretary General has just said. We should have done this by yesterday. We need to now get down to work. We should now get down to work and do the very best we can. I'm saying that because the SG has called off the strike. I have no power to call off the strike. But I'm saying the SG has done that, and therefore I would want to call on the individual members, let us get back to work. May I end by saying I want to thank national government for its commitment towards this process. We are joined at the hip. There are quite a number of things that we have to work together to ensure that we fulfill the dictates and the likes and of the agreement. Mine is to wish you all the very best and to say it's been a tough journey. I thank everyone who participated. Thank you very much.
Makofi. Before we move back to the national government, the chair, KMPDU, would want to add some voice. Kindly let's move the microphone. The chair, KMPDU. By demand from his members. He said he has to say something. And then we move to CS Nakumicha, who will also introduce the two CSs with her, who are very key. And then we return back to the head of public service. Then we close with the national anthem. So choir, be ready.
Zungusha tu.
So chair. Chair. Wacha aseme kwa sababu ya wake.
You don't believe it.
Choir, be ready for the national head of public service. Gives the concluding remarks. Now let's listen to the chair of KMPDU, Dr. Mochi.
Thank you. I don't think there's anything much to say. I've never been of an opinion that in an industrial action which ostensibly involves the loss of lives, that there's any win. If at all there's any win, it's called a Pyrrhic victory. A Pyrrhic victory is a victory whereby, even though there's a medal at the end, the other side, the losses along the way are just too heavy to even celebrate that win. And since you've been here before, my word of play will be that we should never find ourselves in such a situation. And governments upon governments have been sitting on their able hands, and it takes the unique power of unions to put fire under their feet so that they jump into action. We should never get to such a position. There is no victory because it's like a hostage situation. But since we had this circumlocution documentation and ended up with a document that we saw it fit to put pen to paper, speaking as a doctor and back to Hippocrates' oath, this is it. Should not happen again. Thank you.
Vima Kofi. That's a very great statement from a national leader. Now, we move to the CS. Madam CS, so that they can also represent the national government. And pole kwa majeruhi na maneno. Madam CS, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Head of Public Service, my colleague Cabinet Secretaries, Cabinet Secretary for Labor, my sister Florence Bore, Cabinet Secretary for Public Service and Performance, Moses Kuria, my Principal Secretaries present here, and all Principal Secretaries present, the leadership of KMPDU, starting with the Chair, Dr. Mwachi, the SG, Dr. Davji, and if I don't mention the Deputy SG, he will feel bad, Dr. Miskela, and our Chair for last night, who assisted us to make progress, Dr. Shisanya, all healthcare workers across the country, fellow Kenyans. After long and painstaking negotiations that ran into the wee hours of the night for many days, I am pleased that we are finally here. We have signed a return to work formula, and the union has called off the strike. The negotiations have been tough and protracted, and I want to give it to the doctors. I thought that I knew how to negotiate and bargain, but obviously they have been very good at this, better than myself. On several occasions, we came close and indeed thought that we had arrived at a deal, but it was not to be, and we kept the country waiting. However, I want to say last night, we all found a place in our hearts to agree. And this is testament to the apostle of Paul to the Philippians. And he said, do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility regard others as better than yourselves. Let each of you look not to your own interests, but to the interest of others. This agreement could not have come at a better time and without the commitment of all stakeholders involved. I want to sincerely thank the team from the Ministry of Health, my two principal secretaries, Principal Mary Mudhoni Muriuki, Principal Harry Kimtai, the Director General, Dr. Amoth, and all the officials from the ministry who have worked together with me on this issue. I also want to thank the Head of Public Service, who, under the Whole of Nation Approach Committee, has led us into these discussions. The Council of Governors, for their deliberate effort to ensure that we get a solution, and to my colleagues who have been besides me in all this. Equally, I want to appreciate the conciliators from the Ministry of Labor, together with COTU and the Labor and Employment and Labor Relations Court, for stepping in and being patient with all of us as we went through this. To the families and patients who may have wondered when the strike will end, we understand your pain. There is no denying that this strike has caused a lot of anxiety and pain among the public, especially at a time like now when we were accelerating access to universal health coverage. However, I must in a special way applaud the many doctors who remained at work during this strike, and all other health care cadres, such as the nurses who kept our facilities operational, and of course, our community army of the community health promoters for their important role as first-line health workers at the community level. At such a time when the country is going through the flood crisis, with the deaths that we have experienced, with over the 40,000 households displaced, I can never appreciate the health workers enough, because this is the time now for us to work. Fellow Kenyans, and especially the health workers, the issue that led to this strike are systemic issues that precede the Kenya Kwanza government. And it is for this reason that I consistently emphasize that first, we must make an agreement that we can implement. And second, we must find a lasting solution to the perennial issues. I am confident that what we have signed on to today, having consulted widely, this is a deal that is going to be implemented by all of us. Last night, we left the Ministry of Health at 3 a.m. And the deal breaker was, is this a deal for execution or just for signing? And we agreed that it was a deal for execution. This strike has given us an opportunity to introspect and look inwards to see what can be done better for health workers in this country. On Monday, my colleague C.S. Machogu and myself inaugurated a joint task force to look into the production of health workers. And within the next 90 days, the Ministry of Health will also review existing staffing norms and standards, which were last published in 2016. And this will set forth the stage of us filling the gaps that have existed within the health sector. The reforms that we are undertaking are cognizant of the fact that health is a devolved function, with the HRH component shared between the two levels of government. And given this reality, it is imperative that all discussions and agreements regarding human resources acknowledge the distinct employers within the health sector. As a ministry, we are committed to this principle, and any future agreements that we enter, including CBS, will be based on this constitutional reality. I also call upon the unions and their representatives to be mindful of the need to strengthen the employee-employer relationship to build mutually trust that will resolve future conflicts for the benefit of wananchi. We have agreed that we are going to establish a presidential task force to look into the perennial issues that affect the health sector. Finally, now that we have a return to work formula, my friends, let us go back to work. all the names that you called me, I want to wash them away today. And should we as a ministry have erred in any way, today marks a new beginning. I want to urge all of us for now to focus on service delivery and make your rightful contribution to realization of UHC. The country has waited anxiously for 54 days to see you back to work, and they have a right to demand and expect to be served without further delay. My appeal to you is that please forever be truthful to the oath. If you are in public service, prioritize service delivery in these public hospitals. Let Kenyans get value for their taxes by receiving quality services in a timely manner. As a government, led by His Excellency the President, Honorable Dr. William Ruto, we appreciate the important role that all healthcare facilities in the private and faith-based play in delivering health services. Our position is that if you have chosen to serve in public health facility, please dedicate yourself to that cause. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana. God bless the union. Viva Asanteni.
Madam Waziri, maybe you may want to recognize your colleagues.
Oh, I have recognized, but I want to say thank you very much, my sister Florence. You put together a conciliator committee that worked very well, together with Kotu, that has led us to where we are today. And my colleague, Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria, he for she, I really appreciate you. You said the hard words that people did not want to hear, but thankfully, the truth is what has set us free today. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
Makofi. Now, let's hear from the head of public service as a conclusion. Tumemaliza. Haya basi, hataki kuongea zaidi ya hapa, alimaliza. Sorry, I think this is a signing ceremony, so we'll not allow questions for now, please, because it's already done. So let's have the national anthem, please, the choir. National anthem. Asante sana.